This story is more than just being about a cup and saucer. The Swan sits at the centre of Lavenham and has played an enormous part in the history of the village. But we wanted to tell the stories that only the Swan can tell.
And of course it had to be in the woad blue because that's Lavenham.
Around about 17 times each piece has been touched to get to the final piece.
And what better way to tell those stories than through the tradition of afternoon tea? Welcome to the Swan. My name's David, I'm the Chief Executive for the Hotel Folk, and the Swan at Lavenham is one of our 6 hotels. Today I'd like to introduce you to the fantastic story which is all about the creation of our new range of bespoke afternoon tea crockery. Hopefully you'll learn some interesting facts about the Swan and have a little bit of fun along the journey. Within the Swan's 500-year history, there are so many amazing stories to tell. And what better way to tell those stories than through the tradition of afternoon tea? So this journey is all about pulling some of the most exciting parts of the Swan's history together, bringing those stories to life and actually educating our customers whilst they enjoy afternoon tea and hopefully inspire some conversation. The Swan sits at the centre of Lavenham and has played an enormous part in the history of the village. But we wanted to tell the stories that only the Swan can tell and celebrate those unique things that make the Swan such a special place to enjoy fantastic afternoon tea. Some of my favourite elements of the afternoon tea crockery. The first one would have to be all about the wool. So 500 years ago, Lavenham would have been the 14th richest town within England, and a lot of that wealth was all generated through the wool trade. And the wool hall that you can visit when you're here at the Swan was actually a ladies' guild, and it has an amazing number of features which are fantastic to see, in the present day. In more modern times, Dolly Parton stayed here back in the 1980s, and you can see her telegram on the wall as you walk into reception, and that's celebrated with the 9 to 5 icon that you'll find on some of the cups and saucers. Or even to the slippers, usually ladies' slippers, which were actually used and put in the walls when the Swan was built, and that was felt to give good luck to the building. And they're also featured on the afternoon tea crockery. The next phase of the project was to find someone talented and creative who could actually bring the elements of our amazing story to life. And what better way to find someone who lives in the village, who works in the village, and actually has a really strong family connection to the Swan.
I'm Lienne and I'm an artist and the owner of Posy.
Lienne was already a great friend of the Swan, and one of the first times that I actually saw some of her amazing illustrations was actually on the village map, where you can find lots of the important Lavenham landmarks creatively highlighted by Lienne's amazing designs.
So after the Second World War, my great-granddad Charlie came back after being in the Navy and got a job at the Swan Hotel as a barman and a night porter. So that's a really nice family connection for us, and to be asked to create something for the Swan is obviously very special for me as an artist as well. So it all started back in January with our meeting, sat around the table drinking tea, of course, talking about the kind of ideas that the Swan actually wanted for me to translate into a design. We started with looking at the history of the Swan, artefacts that meant something to the Swan, which obviously is beautiful, each one in their own right, but quite a challenge to tie together into a pretty design, I would say. But I definitely feel like we got there in the end. Really pleased with how the elements all came together. I think for me, the best part that I focused on was the sgraffito within the hotel, because it's quite a flowy design, and I was able to incorporate my style into that because that's naturally how I would work. So I think that was a starting point for me, and then to kind of come up with icons that complemented but didn't necessarily tie in with, I would say was the route that we went down. And of course it had to be in the woad blue because that's Lavenham. So we started off penning it out and then washing it with ink over the top to create nice washy illustrations. And then I think the design really just matured over time by different aspects of each design being put together in different sequences, which kind of came back to the design that we ended up going for. I think I particularly enjoyed painting the artefacts from the Airman's Bar because of my great-granddad, probably, like the social element of the Airman's Bar and what that meant for them. The glass boots and obviously the ringing bells as well.
The Swan's afternoon tea crockery project is a really good example of bringing three minds together. The Swan had all of the amazing stories, history and heritage to tell. Lienne had the creative imagination to actually bring all of those stories to life and actually create the illustrations on paper. And then we needed someone from a practical point of view who could actually put those two things together on the crockery that you see when you come to the Swan. And that third part of the jigsaw came from Kirkham in Stoke on Trent.
I'm Jonathan Shepherd, CEO of Jonthan Shepherd Consultancy. We are the agents in the hospitality field for Kirkham Co, China. Early in 2025, we were approached by our distributor Waltons & Company on behalf of the Swan at Lavenham to help them provide a luxury afternoon tea service. It revolved around elements of historical artifacts from the history of the hotel dating back to medieval times. And there was only one company that we felt could actually help deliver this inspired, luxurious, bespoke, custom decoration afternoon tea service. And that's Kirkham Hospitality Fine Burn China.
I'm Lienne Nicole, the Managing Director of Kirkham Co Limited. We've been established for more than 50 years and we're creating many bespoke projects for various companies. Some of the companies include Liberty of London, Fortnum and Mason, Buckingham Palace, Highgrove, just to name a few. Here at Kirkham we employ around about 30 staff. A lot of the staff have been here for quite some time. It's like one really great big family. We're all meshed together in producing all these beautiful fine products, and the staff are very proud to be working for the company and creating all these lovely designs. To manufacture each piece requires 4 firings. So the initial stage is from clay, and the temperature fired is around about 1200 degrees for 12 hours in a kiln, and this fires the piece to biscuit stage. After this stage, the glaze needs to be applied, and this is fired at 1080 degrees, slightly lower temperature than the biscuit firing. So after the glazing stage, the piece is in white gloss stage, and the decoration can then be applied to the piece. So the decorations are hand applied and then fired in a kiln to around about 820 degrees, so a lower temperature again. And for the final decoration, which is the lining of the gold, which is all done by hand application, it's fired in the kiln then for the final process around about 800 degrees. So in total we have 4 firings, lots of contact with people, around about 17 times each piece has been touched to get to the final piece.
This story is more than just being about a cup and saucer. It's about celebrating the fantastic history and heritage that the Swan has within the centre of the historic village of Lavenham. It's about celebrating the amazing food that our chefs create within the kitchen. And I really hope that you've enjoyed listening to some of the stories and actually learning some of the things that make the Swan such a fantastic place to visit. I really hope that's inspired you to perhaps bring your friends and family along and enjoy a Swan afternoon tea experience for yourselves.